I'll show you how we can make this candle. And we're going to use an Illustrator file to make the the ring around it with all that detail and decoration. So what I've done is I've created a pattern inside of Illustrator. And you can see this pattern has been made from, I'll show you how I do it. So I'll just create a new document and I'm just going to drag an image into this space. So this is a PNG image. This is a raster image, right? It's pixels, it's not curves, it's nothing like that. However, inside of Illustrator, we've got this live trace. So under object or image trace, it's called image trace, and we can go make. Then, where's my essentials? I need to see, why is it? Oh, it thinks that this is a touch screen. Yeah, that's right. So I have to change, yeah. No, that's the touch. Essentials classic. Got to have the essentials classic. So in here, now that I've turned on essentials classic, I've got expand. And so what that's done, if I go into the layers, it's expanded all those shapes. So first of all, if I go in, I can select the shapes. Now, the important part of this process, so it can do any image, but high contrast images, black and white images work the best. And so now that whole image is just vector shapes, right? Which is super cool. But the confusing part, right, is if I just make a rectangle. So this is on top of my diagram. And if I send it to the back, so arrange, right clicking, send to back, you can see that we have this big white curve, or in our, let's go back to our layers, see if we can find it. I think it's down the bottom. So if I select it and move that, it's just the white background basically. We want to make sure we get rid of it because this tool won't work if it's there. Oh, can you? Where's that option? That sounds like a good option. So let's do that again then. So if I bring in an image trace, do you know where you can tell it to ignore whites, Cameron?
If you just go to the image trace and just do it as default, so your button's up on
Yeah.
the top rack up there, then you've got that little box to the just one over to your right. No, one left. Sorry, yeah, that guy. Image trace panel.
Oh,
You
okay,
should be
cool.
able to go into your drag that down, and there should be some extra. Oh, your advanced settings in there. Once you go into your advanced settings, then
Oh, yeah,
you can ignore
nice.
whites, and you can do a few other bits and pieces.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
It's a revelation. It's an absolute revelation.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, nice one. Thanks for pointing that out. That's fantastic.
No worries.
Awesome. All right. So now this pattern here is already done. So what we can do, if we go back into, let's just do it from the front, we can bring in that curve or the vector image, and let's do it through the other method, which is create illustrator object. And if we go options inside here, we can, instead of like by default, if we reset it, oh, it's actually default is beveled. So if we just press curve, it just bring him in as, curves like we did with the bottle, but we actually want to use the bevel function. So if we go bevel and create, it will ask me to look for that file. And what's important with these curves is they're all closed. So it won't create a bevel if the curve's not closed. And so now we have this beveled object. And with the beveling, there's actually different options you can do. So bevel width, depth, you can make it sort of have a higher depth, uh, different styles as well. So straight edge, or you can make it taper in and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So have a play around, see what you like. I'll just go back to the default. Now, to make this continue, what we can do is just use a, where are we, modeling? Yep. The mirror tool. So under mesh mirror, we can mirror this object. If we drop that again, select the whole object again, and go up and create another mirror. So it's mirroring from the origin, but we can mirror from the object. Let's just go bounding box. Oh yeah, that's better. So yeah, bounding box I turned it on to. So sorry if you missed that. But mirror axes. So there's different axes that you can mirror from. Oh, there it is there as well. So we've got the little drop down menu. So object, bounding box, it's just going to mirror from the edge, which is kind of cool. And then all you have to do is come up here to deformers, and we'll use a non-linear deformer bend. Rotate that bend deformer. Like so. And then just give it some curvature. Oops. Again, we want it 90 degrees. So negative 90 or 90. Will it go the other way? Yeah, that's good. And yeah, we go back into our curvature. Can close it off. So it's not lining up perfectly yet because this is just a little bit off. That's better. So yeah, now we've got a nice decoration. So to quickly delete the history, I'm going to clone it and center the pivot. And I'll chuck it in the middle. I'll scale it down because there's no history associated to these objects now, so I can get rid of those. And yeah, there's the frame or the decoration around it. To make the candle itself, just take a cylinder, get the right height. We'll select the middle vertice, and if we go select constraint to face, or Control F11, selects the whole face. Control E brings up the extrude tool, and we can extrude in. G reactivates the tool. Move down. G reactivates the tool again. G again. There we go. That looks pretty good. Add some subdivisions. It looks like I've got some symmetry turned on. I'll turn that off. And I'll add some subdivisions to that. Yeah, but before I do that, let's add some edge loops. So just to tighten those edges. That'll do. Back to object mode. Give that a smooth. Looks good. And a bit of sculpting. Doesn't go astray. So maybe I'll use this tool. Squash it down a bit. That looks okay. Change the scale. Make it a bit, uneven. Looks good. That'll do. And so all that's left is the wick. So we'll go up and I'll just press Control 1, bring up a cylinder, and I'm just going to scale it up. And so with this cylinder, look, the sculpting tool is really good. Just go easy. Try and not to overlap the vertices or get artifacts. It's quite easy to do. But there's the relax tool, sculpt tool as well as part of that. So that's quite awesome. They're actually advancing this part of the software a lot recently. I've seen some demos where they're just doing it. It looks like they're sculpting in clay. It's just incredible. ZBrush is like the best sculpting tool out there, but you can do a bit of sculpting within Maya within here is really good as well. All right, so this is going to be one of 3 wicks. Okay, a bit hard to see. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to revolve them around, twist them around. But we have to put the geometry in there first. So let's get enough subdivisions. So at the moment there's 1. That'll do. And the other thing that we have to do is clone these guys. And for this tool to work, they have to be combined. So now, when we go non-linear deformers, we can twist it, and we get so just enough so you can see it. So it looks pretty good. But wait, let's put a bend deformer on that as well. And we'll just bend the top. We don't need to bend the bottom. So the lower, I'll just make that straight. And if I want to just do it to the very top, I can just move the deformer. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, they're pretty handy, these deformers, and lots of fun. So you can get the basic shape and then make some alterations to make it look more exact. So yeah, I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm not going to. You don't have to duplicate, but I don't want to change it, so I just want to clean up my scene a bit. And I think what I've done is made it huge. That's okay. Scale it down. There we go. Put it in the middle. And there's your candle. I won't. Yeah, I made a base in the other one, but yeah, I don't think. Oh, maybe we'll do it. So all I did for the base. And I'll just go control 1. Scale this up, something like that. What I used was the duplicate special, which we kind of looked at last week. So D, snap to point, D, X, just lining it up so it's all on the grid. And then if I press D again, I can move my pivot point to the center, press X, it snaps to the center. So now if I drop, and yeah, if I rotate, hold down shift, I can clone it at the same time. But instead of doing it manually, I'll use the duplicate special. So edit, duplicate special, and I'll make it an instance. So if I edit this one, they'll all change. So rotate 45. I'll reset this, reset it, rotate 90, and we'll do 3. So I'll end up with 1, 2, 3, and back to there. Duplicate special. Okay. So if I go back to my original object and change the face, what? No, I reset this tool, didn't I? That's what went wrong. Okay, so edit, duplicate special. Yeah, and changed it back to copy. Make sure it's on instance. Apply. And so if I take that face and extrude it, they're all going to extrude with me, like so. And then, yeah, I might take that object, give it some extra detail with a bit of bevel, make a few more segments. There we go. And that's the base. Control 1. Select those top objects, move them up. There we go. And because I don't want to re-edit them separately, I can just combine them together, and yeah, and also edit, delete history, as well as edit, delete history, which I've done, which means I can get rid of all these transfer nodes, or transform nodes, I should say. And yeah, we can name this. And yeah, we're good to go. We'll reposition the pivot point. So D, move it down, use the X key to snap it to the middle of the grid. D again. Now, if I go into yeah, it's all frozen out. But let's just say it wasn't. I can go up here and go freeze transformations and freeze transform it all out. Save selected, or export selection. And, I could save it into my assets folder as a separate object, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And we're done.